Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else around the world, welcome again to the Kenyan week that was Roundtable Talks with Danko and DY. Karibu sana bwana Duncan. How have you been?
Been perfect, nashukuru sana. It's been an amazing experience. It's been an amazing week as well, full of its share of drama, full of light and darkness at the same time. But who else than Atalako and DY to chapua it seriously and express?
That's the first thing. I keep saying it's the most amazing part of this thing is we live and learn. Our first episode had our own, we had our own little tidbits that we were learning on. But as our viewers can see, haven't we upped our game? Haven't we changed the ball, bwana?
Second time's a charm, man. We can't afford to remain the same.
We never stop and we never end one.
Yes.
So tell me, what are your highlights for the week first? Tujue vile mambo imekuwa. Na usiniambie mambo ya Manchester kushinda.
Well. By the way, that is of course number one highlight for me. Na iko sawa kabisa. I'm just concerned about the guy that said he's not going to shave his head until Manchester wins 5 games in a row. I'm thinking by the end of the year, by mid next year, he will look like a Sasquatch because I'm looking at this team. It's not a joke, but other than that, it's a season of. It's actually phase 2 of the initiation, aka circumcision season.
Oh, right.
Yes, I have happened to participate heavily on one because my nephew just went for the cut, and I was there with him. Yes. So there's also that we're going to chambua a lot. There's a lot I need to unpack for you in regards to this as well. Generally, as a nation.
They call them Mutiri.
Yeah. Motiri.
You stood by.
I'm actually on the Motiri because Bado Jamaliza, he's still going through the healing process until the day we veja that body and we celebrate with the wazee. Then
what is it called? It's called an Idemba. If I am not wrong, until we have the Idemba, then we can be able to say we are ready and we are done. Now, we shall unpack this and many more of the conversations that we are going to have. So my week has been good.
Perfect.
Can't say much, man. A lot of work. Nothing. You know, when you're outside the country, all that you do is work. Yeah, as in, it's...
So you don't have time to roam around visiting friends.
We don't have... I have a couple of people, a Kenyan community here, but all of you are busy. So you end up chomokaing, going for work in the morning, chomokaing at whatever hour you're chomokaing, you get into the house, you don't even feel the need to cook. And so imagine with my big body, and I'm saying I don't even know what to cook. So that tells you how KFC is my friend.
Yes. This is not a sponsored ad, by the way. Although, if you want to sponsor, who are we to refuse?
Yeah, we can have round tables as we have round bodies, my guy.
But you, me both. By the way, we have so much in common.
So it's one of those weird things that you realize you miss. And maybe that's why this conversation that you and I have now, and the more often we make it, it makes it better for people like me, is because it's a touch of home. You know, you keep up with the politics that is going on, but you don't have anyone to discuss it with.
Yes.
Yeah, you have this anger portions that you go like, but you've got no outlet. So with the roundtable talks with Atlaku and DY, guess what? I get to unwind. I get to be able to go like, you know, what is this that is happening over here? And because like we said last time, wherever you are in the world, Kenya ndio home. So we will always be
Kenyan home.
And
we don't have any other Kenya, man. This is the only one we've got.
And if we don't talk about this one,
we are doomed.
And to get us all began, I want us to start where we started last time with our neighbors, our nosy neighbors.
Yes.
Because mambo inachemuka.
Yes.
You know, I saw a story that really made me laugh. You know, I want to talk about the artists in Tanzania. Because they neglected and abandoned their folk. The people that have paid for their bread and butter every day. And they decided, Jutasimama na mama. And they forgot. So I saw a story that ran somewhere, I think, on the interwebs, how Diamond Platinums cancelled a show at London O2 and lost 2 million.
The O2 Stadium.
My God, whether it's Tanzania shillings or it's Kenya shillings or dollars, whatever the 2 million has 6 zeros, my guy. Just because you can't convert people after you've killed people and you expect them to like you. And you expect them, and the fact that you make it look so. I like the arrogance that he showed the day they were apishing all the members of parliament.
Yes,
and he appeared in parliament in these bespoke suits and everything, only to realize the people that actually pay for all this shit, pardon my French, it's the fans.
The fans. Yeah. Let me tell you the funniest thing. I want to speak from a point of like as an artist. Yeah. Because I was trying to sit down and analyze. It's for me, I said it's very easy to for us to point fingers and say these guys. But you remember, this is a divide. A divide must have two sides. True. Whether you are for it or against it. There are people who are for it. Now, after the divide, then there is the motive of the divide. So what is your motive supporting, going for or against? Yeah. Or against. So the funniest thing was, now Tanzania is heavily influenced by the music sector. The music industry influences everything they do, how they dress, how they talk. In fact, the little English they're trying to talk, all of them.
The 31st, do you mean the 31st?
I'm 31st years old. It's because of music. And not even what they have learned in school. So the funniest bit is, for you to be in a divide, your motive is what directs you on where to go. So I was like, why are there Kina Diamond, Kina Harmonize, all these people, why are they supporting this bloody regime? And I was like, the many years that I have participated in voting in Kenya, I've had a side that I supported. And for some reason, I am always deaf to the things that the regime is doing that are not right when it is my people. During Uhuru time, and I'm just going to be honest, I voted for Uhuru twice. I voted for Kibaki twice. Like those times, anyone tried to speak ill about Kibaki or Uhuru, I would see them as haters. I'd be like, these people, who do you think you are? Like, yes, why did you protest? Why were you running in the streets? Yeah, why were you, like when they, sadly to say, to bring it to Nini, when Itumbi was abducted during Uhuru regime.
And we're not laughing.
To be honest, because I've been doing a lot of, and let me tell you, I'm trying to do an analysis because I don't want to sit here and lie to people from my standpoint without having to hear the other person's standpoint. The thing is, I didn't care about it to be being. I thought him this one is a deserter. He's not loyal. Akwende uko, And what we did, I realized by that time I didn't feel the pain, and so even now, they are not feeling the pain that I am feeling because I am not pro this regime. I didn't vote for this regime and I'm not for it. So the pain I'm feeling is what they were feeling back then. So Tanzania is the same way.
We are not different.
So Diamond is not seeing mama hana shida. Mama ni mzazi. Mama ni mtu mbunifu, mtu ambaye apendi ubatili, ambaye apendi, all those Kiswahili big words. Because they are minting something. They are getting something from that regime. They have eaten money. They have been given position. They've been promised a lot, if at all.
And there's money in the game.
Praises of this regime.
That makes me think about it. Because we, as Kenyans now, we are, quote unquote, anti the Tanzanian musicians because they've taken a stand.
Yes.
A stand that we do not agree with. And this time around, perhaps we might be on the right, but truth be told, it doesn't mean that we've not done our share. And I asked myself, now I want to ask you as a musical, they're called what? Aficionados.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I see why uko.
So as a musical aficionado, do you think it is time that in the next...
Can you hear me?
Tell me. Yeah, I can hear you. So as Msanii, should we take sides?
Basically, there was a time when being non-partisan was the way to go. Because you didn't have to explain why you support A or B. Just in case A or B failed you or did something that was contrary to your beliefs. And especially for gospel artists. But a time is coming right now. I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt, anyone without a stand is a weak person. Anyone without a stand should not be listened to. Anyone without a stand should not be supported. Why? You'd rather tell me, like Diamond, you're supporting Mama Samia. At least I know you're supporting something. So when I'm supporting and listening to your music, I know you are pro a murderous regime. You are pro anarchy and genocide. And I'll take you at that. You know, rather than you pretend, because it's very easy when you're in the middle of the fence, you can pretend when things go, when you see things, the opposition rising, you are there. When you see things not going well, you're on this other side. Take a stand, for crying out loud, whether you're a Christian or not. And I'm talking even to the church. Churches, we saw them last year in 2024, taking a stand when it was when the Mandamano happened. And you know the funniest thing is most churches are they try so much to be against politics, but the Gen Z movement was so huge, they had to speak on the pulpits. Even the Baptists that are very laid back and reserved, they had to say, we support what the Gen Zs are doing, and all we are praying for is there should be no more bloodshed. Please let there be peace, peaceful protest. But they took a stand and said, we are supporting the Gen Z movement. So anyone without a stand this coming election, do not, in fact, unsubscribe from them. Do not download their content. Don't listen to any of their content.
Again, regardless of which stand they take, whether they are pro-regime or against the regime. Because for me, one of the things 2024 was a defining year for me. You and I, we've grown in church. So we know church, politics, and business. So I was so pissed at so many churches that I personally decided I can never go to some of these churches, because during the height of Gen Z clamor and protest, they never spoke.
Yes.
But they expected us to still go to church and still tithe and still do all these other things as though life is still normal, when everything was not okay with the society. And they're supposed to be the cure to the society. And the fact that they chose not to stand, my guy,
it's as if the Gen Z on the street is not the Gen Z on the pews on Sunday. That doesn't make sense. It's like they are two different people. It's like we have trolls and humans. So trolls come out and andamana, and we call them out, or we ignore them, and then on Sunday we are with humans in the pews. No way. The same Gen Z on the street. I saw pastors. I saw youth pastors with Bendera and Maji and Colgate or whatever, toothpaste, and I saw them on the streets rioting. And I was like, you know what? For once, I'm proud. We are back to those eras of was it called Njoya? Njoya. Timothy Njoya. I still remember him being clobbered on the street, on the culvert, on the pavement, and was being clobbered, and he was crying, "Mama," because he was against a regime that was murderous. He was against a regime that was corrupt to the core, and he was not afraid to do what he was called out to do. In fact, because that is the stand of the church. The church, people try to say there should be a demarcation between the state and the church. Bro, the church and the state are one.
If you cannot have a stand,
yes.
One of the pastors I have to big up, and one of these days we'll try and get him, and we'll have a conversation with him, you and I, is Pastor Tony Kiama of River of God.
Yes.
I absolutely loved the way he went out of his way. He did interviews. He spoke up against the regime. And he was saying it because these are the children we are serving with. These are the children that come to our churches. If we can't protect them in the church and we can't speak for them in the church, then what are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
You see, when we say we are not ashamed of the gospel, what we're simply saying is that when placed upon the scales of justice, of humanity, whatever scales we are placed on, we are ourselves. We are not afraid to stand for the truth. And so Reverend Tony Kiama has given a different face to what gospel means, because Kitambo it was, we don't play your games.
In fact, let me give him an applause, Juana. I need to give him an applause. Because he did something that most pastors were afraid to do. He stood. And he was able, and he said his voice will be used to bring change to the country that he serves in. And he spoke
Now,
against the parties that kept on going to
yes,
the state house to get money off of the system. And then say, oh, Mungu amesema. Because, it is a church that gave us this president.
Yes. Yes,
Without
they
the
even prayed
church,
for him. Yeah.
Ruto is not president, because he went to the
Yes.
church, cried, prayed,
Mhm.
and said that he is one of God.
Yes.
Ametumwa na Mungu. And
Exactly.
because one of the
Yes.
things that changed my life, and I don't know what your perspective is on this one,
Mm,
is
mm.
I have realized when the Bible says that leadership comes from God, it doesn't mean that he chooses the leaders for you guys.
No.
Because we know
Kumbuka
that's the fallacy
the
we
children of
are
Israel.
told that Mungu ndio ametuchagulia. Huyu ni Mungu aliamua. Hapana.
Yes.
It's you, Dalco. It's me, DY, that we decided to vote this person in.
In fact, can I tell you something that is very weird? I found out the other day when I was going through my devotion. This was not God's plan. The people, the children of Israel, are the ones who started crying and saying, by the way, we want leaders. And he said, I got you out of Egypt, took you to the promised land. I've given you everything. Why do you need leaders? I worship me, serve me. These are the laws. You have your Moses, you have your who, you have your John, Joshua, you have everyone. Why do so? A time came when the judges talks about 2:10, talks about there arose another generation that knew not of what God had done with the children of Israel. Like imagine your great grandfather crossed the Red Sea, as in it parted for him, and you do not remember. It has no influence over your life. So they got to a place they were like, hey, we need to have people of our own. And God told them, is that what you want? So here, he gave us leaders. He gave them kings. He gave them judges from the Rehoboth and then, all those, to the Nebuchadnezzar, to the Saul, to the David, all those people. And when you look at it, we say, yes, leadership comes from God, but it is us who vote in the leaders. So if we vote in David, and we are okay. If we vote in Nebuchadnezzar, it is still okay. He'll come with a whip, but it's our choice. It is a reflection of who we are as a society.
Yeah, you've put it absolutely amazing. Because I don't think there's any other way, because we keep saying that he was chosen of God. No.
Yes.
It is us. So it's one of those things that you've said that is very profound, that we cannot complain when we are the same people that go out and line up to vote, and then we blame Jesus or God that he chose for us the leader. But to make it even interesting, now let's segue directly to the current elections that took place this week, or last Thursday actually.
Yes.
Kasipul, Mbeere North.
Yes.
And were you as shocked as I was?
I was very, very shocked. In fact, I think I'm one of those people who was shocked because, not because of, I knew, the UDS candidate were very strong, but I didn't expect it to reflect on the polls. It's very easy for it to reflect on the media, propaganda. It's very easy. But for someone to actually win, and then I'm like, okay, fine. There were some shady deals. He won by, I think, a margin of about 500 votes or so. And I'm like, okay, that's too close. The issue is not even the closeness. The issue is how many votes Mudende got.
Because for me, first of all, that one shocked the living hell out of me, because Gachagua had camped there, going all willy-nilly into people's houses. Anaamuka, anaingia kwa nyumba ya nani, anaikunywa kachai, and it became a reflection of the problem with Kenyans. We say that we don't want this government, but we don't register. We don't go out to vote.
We don't go out to vote. But do you think people didn't vote? Do you think, because at the end of the day, if the majority won, again, it's a Samia issue. If the majority voted for you, why would they ban your head office?
Now, let me be the devil's advocate on this one. Because, our constitution is very accurate, and it gives us the tidbits that will allow us to know whether we are, as a society, are doing the right thing or we are messing up. Because, in a polling station, only 600 people can vote.
Oh. polling station
every polling station, the stream that you go,
the stream,
only 600 people can vote in that.
And vote, yes.
So it is one of the hardest things to do in Kenya is the only way you give an incumbent chance for him to rig is if you guys don't show up. Because if 600 of you were there to vote for Karish Newton, then there's no space that he can add the 300 or 400 votes that he got or garnered. Because listen, he cannot vote in himself by adding 1,000. Because then it will showcase that there is a problem within that polling station.
But remember, there's a case where Rocho, there was chaos and they locked themselves inside the polling station when with what are they called? Plainclothes called policemen.
Yeah.
They locked themselves inside.
So unless they swapped the voter boxes.
There was also accusations from the beginning that so even Justin Muturi become very violent and fiery on the ground is because there were already marked ballot boxes that had marked ballots in favor of Wamudesh.
So how do we beat them?
So
come 2027.
They needed a blind spot for them to put in what they had posted. And let's be honest, the violence we saw in the by-elections, it wasn't random, it wasn't accidental, it wasn't a preview or a trailer. It was a warning shot of the kind of political culture we are drifting back into as a nation. Because think about it, if politicians can unleash chaos for a ward seat, this is not national. Ward.
A ward.
For a constituency seat,
my guy,
for a by-election with barely 50,000 votes. What happens in 2027 when the stakes are national, when the seats are bigger, when the consequences are heavier? What we saw wasn't just violence, my brother. It was desperation. It was a fear of losing relevance. It was an old political script.
So they were not going to accept for them to be beaten regardless of what we say.
Exactly. You see, but here's the part we don't talk about enough. Violence does not begin in August 2027. It begins in these small, insignificant elections. You saw how Kenya One thumped his chest after that.
Oh, my guy, I was almost dying, my friend, because he ensured that we will never forget.
Yes.
That guess what? He beat us at this game. He beat
this
us
was just
at this game.
He was testing the waters and he had put in every resource to ensure that this thing works out in his favor. You see, where the politicians measure how far they can push, where the system checks are there or not, whether Kenyans are still willing to look away, whether they will undermine,
whether they will question, whether they will be angry.
And even this issue of going to court, it's still part of the pilot. They are observing how far are you willing to push this in the courts. And if we don't call it out, because now what they are doing, they are gathering info. They say he that has data is king. He that has data on his enemy is king. If you know every step your enemy will use, every tactic your enemy will use, it will be very easy for you to beat him.
Because I can't seem to find. Now, I've actually remembered there's a guy who's coming up with Mwananchi IBC website. Where he's telling us as Kenyans, on the day of election, come 2027, be there. Let's be there with this equipment that we have. Record the actual counting. Wamudende 1, Wamudende 2, so that we know. Before IEBC doesn't have to do anything. We will have our own, and we can be able to question and go like, but we have actual footage that came in, and it is showing that Wamudende in this one only got 600. Or 300 votes.
Yes, and even the disparity of the votes. Like now we can see, we have all seen Newton Karish, there's a polling station, he was denied about 20, 30, 200 votes. So whatever the courts will do, they will use it as best judgment on the national election.
So now all our focus and eyes should go directly to the courts.
If this thing still stands for Modende, we are in for a rude awakening. If we do not call it out now, if we do not demand accountability now, then yes, this is exactly what's coming, a bigger, louder, uglier version of what we are witnessing.
And you saw how confident he came out. He came out saying now, stopping about, he wasn't even talking about the next 5 years. The man's is talking about another 20 years.
Bro, this guy is not going anywhere. If things, let me tell you, he's collecting data. This guy is smart. Bro, this guy is very smart. He's collecting data. Me, I'm telling you, before you see now, in August 2026, we'll be left with 1 year to the election.
Yes.
By August 2026, mark my words, the drums and the shouts of a referendum, these small things they're saying, remove the presidential limits. Remove term limits. Let me tell you, if he has enough quorum.
No, but you see now, the beautiful part is a referendum is another ball game. And if you remember, 2005 is a good example that Kibaki lost because he lost the referendum. And once you lose a referendum, you're 100% sure you're not coming back. The game is over, it's wrapped, tumemalizana na wewe completely.
But can I shock you? That can also be a cloud. Because this guy doesn't want to go the public way. He does not want people to vote. Does not want public participation. Everything that is happening right now, it is shaping the dragon that is going to come and ban us in the future. Why? If there is a loophole in the wordings of that constitution, then they will take it to parliament. And parliament, it's very easy for him to buy 230 people.
It's gone.
Yes, it's very easy to buy 230 people than buy a whole nation. So they will pass it the way the finance bill have been passed piecemeal. They have been passing it piecemeal.
So what he's been doing is this month, 10 laws he has sent to them. The next month, another 3 laws. Before you realize, like the Masai Mara law.
Bro,
my guy,
you take me there, I feel pissed off. And that is shock on you. When I was talking about the leader is a reflection of who we are as a people. It's the same thing that is happening in the Mara right now.
My God, let me play you a video here, first and foremost, so that now, because I think, when people hear about Mara, we've seen that video running on Twitter that shows as though staff sending back animals. But watch this one, because this one, you guy, shocked me to the fullest. It made me think twice.
Yes.
Watch. Tell me about it. My guy, do you know this is a kind of vigilance that we require? That even if you are a pilot and you're flying over Masai Mara now, show us these things, because they are stealing our country without us knowing.
Bro, was I looking at a video of Masai Mara or Tatu City? Because I'm seeing warehouses, I'm seeing a bridge, I'm seeing a rail system. What's happening? Bro, Kenya is on the edge of a major shift. For the first time, the government is proposing to open national parks, the very spaces that are meant to protect our wildlife, for mining. Bro, supporters say it will uplift the artisanal miners.
Imagine.
And I'm here thinking, how much does mining contribute to the GDP? And how much does tourism contribute to the GDP? And even that, the people who are saying it will destroy ecosystems that we may never get back.
Once animals are creatures of patterns and repeat. The moment they realize they can't cross over to the Masai Mara, that majestic, that great thing that we are known for is gone.
They will stay in the Serengeti.
They'll stay in the Serengeti.
They will stay in the Serengeti, and we'll have no one to blame. We'll try and call Samia.
Do you know?
But it's not her. We can't talk. We can't have a commission of inquiry and call the leaders of the wildebeests so that we can discuss.
There's no commission of inquiry that will call the wildebeest back.
Yeah, this thing, I'm telling you the truth of the matter, is that it has happened before with the Charlie Islands. You saw that thing about the Charlie Islands.
Yeah.
It was grabbed.
And it's gone. It's privatized. It's
subdivided. Yeah. And it raises the question, who stands to benefit? And why are we looking at now? Today, let's try and look at it what's at stake when conservation faces extraction.
You guy, for me, it does. I don't see the sense in having 5 billionaires or 5 companies, the likes of Marriott, coming and making such moolah from the society, and all of our society goes poor because the animal stopped, tourism goes down, and then all of a sudden you have big structures. Because Marriott, you think Marriott will stay the moment the animals stop?
Bro, they won't.
Hilton died. Hilton in Nairobi CBD is no longer a hotel. Yes. The structure is there.
No. Yes.
But who occupies it?
Bro, I don't know whether we are looking at it in this case. Mining means drilling. It means blasting, that is exploding. It means noise. It means long-term disruption. They're talking about protected areas that are home to very delicate ecosystems. We're talking about migration routes like what you're talking about, the wildebeest. Not only that, we're talking about breeding grounds and water catchment areas and sources. So once they are damaged, these things may never recover. You see, when we look at international law, there's this thing called the groundhog. I don't know whether you know the groundhog. They even have in America, they even have a season where it's called Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Groundhog's
Day.
Yeah,
that's a groundhog. After there's a season, it comes out from hibernation. And once it is sighted, like that's where the groundhog lives. Once we see it,
it becomes protected.
It is such a national treasure and a pride in America that the groundhog was viewed. Let me tell you, everyone in America would want to take a picture of that thing. It looks like a guinea pig. Everyone wants to take a picture of that thing when it's coming out.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you know how far they have to stand. And I saw Caroline Mutoko talking very boldly, and I applaud her.
Yeah.
On how do we protect our ecological zones, our ecological zones, our ecosystems, our
let me just stop you right there. Because you see, this is the same regime that has privatized Kenya, is trying to privatize Kenya Pipeline Corporation, KPC. And who are they selling it to? Museveni.
Uganda. Bro, it's funny because we already know what's happening. That's what is happening. I'm not going to say much about Starbucks, but that's all I'm going to say. The thing is, it's a deal between two presidents. It's not a deal between two countries. No. Let's just say the truth. They are selling national resources. Let me say, Kenya, we are going to put them into the deal of Kenya Pipeline. Guess what we are getting from Uganda? Militia. And I won't say much. I won't say much. It's a barter. It's a barter trade. We get militia.
He secures his presidency.
Thank you. Who do you think is the main culprit in Tanzania even?
You think the army? It's my guy.
It is it's our guy.
That organization that we cannot confirm or deny. But
yes, you see, we cannot accept or confirm or deny. But the thing is, it's a barter trade. I will give you militia. They will clear your people. They will shoot them on the heads. They will be masked. You won't know them.
Yeah.
Just pay them $1,000 a month.
Yeah, and I bet he tells them do not speak because we can be able to telling the English
Yes.
that they are
Come
speaking.
put your hands
Put
up.
your hands
You're not
up, my
Kenyan.
brother, before
Yes.
I shoot you. Because
And you know they can't help themselves. Their language just to put your hands up. Put your hands up.
put your hands up.
Aye.
You know, it is. But now you've actually made it clearer because that's what he's doing. Because it now
Yeah.
makes sense when, you know, one day Museveni is claiming Indian Ocean. The next day we are giving him Kenya Pipe, and we are giving him 60%. We are not even saying that we will stay
Controlling
with 60.
share.
We are giving him controlling
No.
stake.
And you know, it's against the law. A parastatal, a Kenyan corporation, which we know our taxes are very heavily involved, that contributes to our GDP, can never ever be in a position to be shared between two countries. Because what does that mean? Will Ugandans now start paying the same?
No, what they will do is Uganda will get access to Indian Ocean the way they've always wanted. They'll get the pipeline running from Indian Ocean, and we will lose resource and value and revenue because the pipeline will.
We don't mind our pipeline going to Uganda. In fact, it does.
It does.
We don't mind.
But now
we don't mind our pipeline going there. But we are selling you the oil. We are not partnering with you.
It is revenue. So we are reducing revenue. And the reason why why we need to privatize is because these organizations are not profitable. But you're going to sell it to our customer.
Yeah. Who says they're not profitable?
Even
the thing is, we should even try to ask, how much does the Kenya pipeline contribute to the GDP?
But no one is giving you these numbers because they're coming up with their own audit values and they're saying, but may I ask myself, how you imagine you and I have a business transaction. You are my customer. You are my bread and butter. Because you are landlocked, I sell you, I tell you, for this oil to work, it has to go through the Kenya Pipeline Corporation pipes and pipeline all the way to Uganda or to your country. Then you complain. I say, hey, but I'm not making enough profit. Then the best idea I can come up with is to give my biggest customer the oil pipeline.
These things, let me tell you how foolish it sounds. At the end of the day, natural resources were never meant to be shared equally. Why? This is the thing. Geographical placement of each country gives them an advantage over the natural resource that favors them. It's like trying to tell Madagascar that they should share Indian Ocean, and they're surrounded by it. It does not make sense.
You see, he has learned his lesson from our Nyarwanda brothers who do not have any gold mine. They don't have any economy. But they are one of the leading exporters of gold from the country.
Because they are heavily they're the reason why Congo is where it is right now.
So
you see, bro, let me give you another very good example. You have traveled this Kenya. You have gone to Namanga. Not even Namanga. You have gone to Emali. That road, Emali, that crosses the beautiful Savo. And as you're crossing on your way to Kimana and Oloitoktok, what do you see? You see Mount Kilimanjaro on your horizon.
Majestic.
And because of the meandering of that road, Mount Kilimanjaro looks like it's dancing. It crosses on the side of the road, this side of the road. Once you get to some places about 450 kilometers, you start seeing giraffes crossing the Savo. They're going into the Savo, whatever, and they're crossing. But where is that mountain? The biggest chunk of that mountain is in Tanzania. So if we start claiming we need to split this mountain half, the geographical demarcations already are telling us Kenya, the only side of Kilimanjaro you can see is this one. If you want to climb the Kilimanjaro, the best thing, just cross over to Tanzania. They have the infrastructure that will aid us into ascending the mountain. So we don't need to necessarily come and fight them for something that is on their land. So Uganda, accept you have the biggest chunk of Lake Victoria. No one is crying about it. Yes, we are not crying about it, And at the end of the day, the problem is you want to have access to the Indian Ocean. It's like when we are buying land. And you're being told, bro, Maguta, 800 meters from the tarmac. So you come and buy that land,
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
800 meters to there.
From the
So you're
tarmac.
almost a kilometer away from the main tarmac. But then after a while, you start complaining and say, I want my fence
to reach the
to
tarmac.
touch the tarmac. And you have roads that can lead. The Ugandans, if they want to come to and see the ocean, they are free to cross the border.
East African community allows them to come without visas, without anything.
That is the trade. Cross, go to the Indian Ocean, revenue, and money for that country. The same way, when we want to see the Kwahumbera Humbeka girls, we want to see the Baganda Kingdom, we want to see the Kabaka Mutesa, the huts, we want to go to Gulu, we cross over. We want to drive to Sudan, we must cross through Sudan. So these things are just there to throw us off and get us talking about things that are very unnecessary. While the real business is passing under us.
I have been in this world for a couple of years, and in this country of ours, I have never come and seen a regime that is so anti the people that all turns they take, they are not governed by the people.
Selfish
interest. As in, this man has decided the one thing he must be is rich through our hands.
I'm trying to say this whole issue is a barter trade. And over and above it being a barter trade, there is what we are being deflected from. The truth of the matter, what's going under. I've realized with these past regimes, they're using very old, how do I say it? Very old methods of divisive tactics. Like, who doesn't know, like even right now, Moses Kuria is just a guy to split votes. We all know. And he will pretend. Yes, that's exactly. So there used to be a time when we would see probably someone like, was it Bifoli Wakoli? I can't remember. There's someone who used to come on TV. And when you see him ranting, just know there's something happening that we are being deflected from. So the moment we start to realize that we have to put people to book and we have to understand that things that are happening, there's more than meets the eye, we will always have a problem in understanding which wave carries what. Like, where are we right now?
Very true. It's a diversionary tactics. They just want to create so much chaos. We don't understand. All of us will be caught up talking about every other thing as they slowly pull the rug off of our feet. Before we realize, the country is gone. The elections are stolen. We have no economy, and we've become the slaves like we have in our neighboring countries, where they have no voice.
Yes.
And before we realize, because the one thing that Kenya has had for the longest time is a voice, where you and I can share such a platform and be able to discuss and speak honestly without inhibition. Every other person in our surrounding neighbors, none of them have it.
Yes. None of them have it. You see, and we know the thing that we will be seeing every time is Kenya. The thing we see news items on the news say Kenya is getting wealthier, but its people are getting poorer and poorer. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw Oxfam saying 25% of the Kenyans are more rich than the whole of the 75% of Kenya. What is this?
That's the question. Kenya as a nation has been growing GDP-wise. So why are many Kenyans struggling to put food on the table? What should reflect what? You see, there are so many things. If we do not nip it in the bud right now, if we continue having wishy-washy and very anticlimax kind of mandamanos, these are things that will inevitably be a part of us to the future. And that is very crazy.
And you see, that's the problem with Kenyans I have. We start, but we don't finish. We start, we are fiery, but we are so, I always say, Kenyans are apathetic. They don't have that finish power of saying, Baka mwisho. We go then, we get comfortable, and we go like, now we change the mandamano. It becomes a time for videos and influencers. All of a sudden, it becomes a fad. Before you realize,
and then
the drive is gone.
People want to own the movement. It's actually it's a disillusionment kind of mentality. You see, at the end of it all, if growth is not translated into fair distribution, improved education, health, stable jobs, social protection, then we are building a country for the few. those few that you're talking about,
there's a
at the
lady that
expense
put
of
it well.
everyone of
And
us.
as we finish
Yeah.
the politics, there's a lady that put it well.
Yes.
We keep hearing everyone, this gentleman repeat to us every other day about affordable housing.
Yes.
And she said, I don't know why he's infatuated with houses when Kenyans are asking for better health.
Exactly.
Kenyans are asking for better education.
Yes.
I don't know who's told him that houses have a higher priority than your health. That, you think Kenyans are having a problem with housing? Kenyans would rather get better health, better food security, better security than to get an affordable house for 3 million.
Exactly. You think my shosho in the village wants another house?
Why?
Let me tell you. I know of people who try to build their grandparents a stone house.
Yeah.
It is a store for maize. They prefer their thatched,
they are so acclimatized to what. So I don't know who are they building these houses for. Because a guy who is in one of the slums in Nairobi doesn't have 3 million.
Yeah.
And even if you tell him to pay 3 or 4 G's a month, my guy, he's trying to look for this money to survive. What they say Kenyans are one sickness away from extreme poverty.
Extreme.
So now
we're talking about Syria right now.
So you tell me, do we need to be dealing with health, or are we supposed to be dealing? There's an MP who went to the floor. I think an MP or a senator who went to the floor and said he was about to die, and he had gone to one of the premier hospitals. Alipoenda Maju, he was told that the drugs that they were giving him were killing him. And this is the top-notch hospital in Nairobi. And I'm not giving out ideas, but it's in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Quote.
Yes. Quote.
You tell me, a member of parliament or a senator says that, do we need houses or better healthcare?
What about the Mwananchi at the bottom, who's earning 130 bob a day, living off less than 130 shillings?
What do they need? Hey, if we think about this, we will never stop.
We will
explode. So, to easier things, let's talk about boy child. And you earlier alluded to the fact that you had become a mutiri, that you took through. Tell me.
We are in that season again. It's called the season of transition, the season of initiation, the season where boys are supposed to step into manhood. A season that is deeply rooted in culture. Tunaongea mambo discipline. We're talking about identity. A journey that is traditionally guided by men, shaped by men, handed down from one generation to the next by men. But there is a paradox, my brother. Let me tell you.
Now, let me see properly. You tell me this thing, Vala.
When we went to do it, I'm not saying that back in our day, we didn't have women very much involved. Because I remember when I went through the cut, my mom was tasked to ensure that there's a steady supply of liver. Back then we still had Ribena and Lucozade. Again, this is not so there were boys from my estate that would come and check on me. And they're like, you know what? So mom would give them the food. Here is the liver, here is the nini. Then they would bring it into the room. And they would teach me what to do. I remember even them telling me at night, Maze, when you get that erection, sorry,
it's allowed. We are honest people. It happens.
Yes,
because if we don't talk about it,
I was given a bottle. You see these bottles of. You remember back in the day we had this.
Don't tell me treat
cod liver oil.
Cod liver oil.
It was a glass bottle, so it was put cold water and it's put on the floor. So you're told there's a place you put. You see, it's everything, man. A woman would not understand this. So they had their role to play, and I'm not in any way trying to sideline them. But there is a paradox. Most of the boys going through this sacred transition today are being raised by single parents, single mothers. Let me stop there. Incredible, strong women. They are carrying burdens that were never designed to be for them to carry. Women they talk about pulling double shifts, double duty for the men who are supposed to stand in the gap. Yet the truth is simple. A mother can raise a boy, a mother can provide, protect, teach and guide, but the initiation into manhood has always needed men.
Let me.
Not because women are lacking,
No.
but
In
because
fact,
this path, to be
I
honest,
will read from
it
my
is
own
meant to be
book.
walked alone.
Because when I
Yes.
went through, I've been raised by a
Yeah.
single parent. I don't like calling
Yes.
them a single parent because I can say single parent, but I don't like calling single mothers because I don't think there's a single mother. You're either a mother
Yes.
or a father. So, but you can be
Or
a
a
single
father.
parent. Sawa?
Yeah,
And
single
there are many
parent,
people that
yes.
can fight me about this. Join us in the
No,
comments.
I agree.
It's okay.
Yes.
But my mom was a single parent. And we are 3 boys in my family. So there was no girl. So she raised us up and ensured that when we got to this stage, what like your mother, all she could do is get men, your uncles, your boys in the neighborhood. They were the ones to look after you guys. It was not something that was supposed you'd not be released by the doctor and then you're told to your mom and then your mom is going to take care of you. No.
Yes.
In fact, there was a period now your uncles came and spoke wisdom because a man can only be built by other men. And that doesn't mean that women are in any way, form or shape weaker. No. They are roles that the only thing that can be transferred is from another man because they will tell you what it is being a man.
Bro, you have said it, you have nailed it on the head. Circumcision is not just about the cut.
No.
It's the character, it's the mentorship, it's the the presence of older men saying, "Skiza apa. This is how you carry yourself, this is how you lead, this is how you respect, this is how you protect those that are in your household. Yes, this is how you stand firm when life hits." So the real reality is not in the ceremony, because the ceremony themselves, they have protected themselves. Guess what happens nowadays? You're told to drop your kid as if they're going to camp. Drop them here. They are going for 10 days. You will come pick them from where you dropped them off. So you are not even involved mostly in the process in there, because the real crisis is not the ceremony. The ceremony, they know how to. It's the absence. The gap between cultural expectation and the reality of fatherlessness.
Now, question. Who's at fault here? Because, I am a huge proponent, and I keep saying, and I tell all my boys, despite, we have to be grown up enough to say there's a difference between a marriage and fatherhood.
Yes.
Because you see, I think we are so confused in this, or we are intertwined in this melee where we forget that our marriage might not work, but a fatherhood should never ever stop. Because so long as you sired and brought a man or a child into this world, they become your responsibility, regardless of whether you like the mother or you like the father, or whether both of you are in agreement. And that is why I feel as though in our society right now, we become so out of touch with the culture. And we become so westernized that, we can, defer some of these responsibilities. So long as I am, so long as I can pay, because now even the cat has become a commercial thing. I was looking at the prices when we were talking about this thing. My God.
120,000,
bro,
90,000 for what?
How? Something that is supposed to be driven culturally, because it's not for the rich. It's not because life in Nairobi now is becoming a privileged life. Only if you have money do you get some of these values. What will happen to these other people?
I'm telling you that this is quite a paradox that we are getting ourselves into, because let me, and again, anytime I mention the women, I'm not in any way disrespecting them.
True.
All I'm just trying to do is show how important they are, but they should also allow men to be men. We understand when they start their menses. We don't even interfere with that. We understand when they get pregnant, because it's crazy. No one has ever, it's their first time. And we have allowed you to do your thing, have your cravings, do all these things. We even understand when you are premenopausal. We will not come and demand things. We know some things are happening into your body and a lot of hormones are in play and they will affect how you live, etc. And we even understand when you are now fully menopausal. And the thing is, why don't we allow the men in the same light when it comes to initiation and circumcision, that's to be respected as well?
Yeah.
It's a man cave.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, but there was this organization that was doing this camp for 10 days. And when we wanted to take my nephew there, the question was, so we will drop him and then you'll pick him for 10 days, then we come pick him after 10 days. But in between there, in fact, the first 2 days, they will undergo the cut. My child, my nephew, who's now my boy, my namesake, is going to be going through a general anesthesia or local and face a cut. Like, he'll be bleeding, he'll be doing all these things. Can I come and just be by his side? We were told no.
What?
Yes. Guess why?
Why?
He said, and I quote, these boys, about 200 of them, 60% have been raised by single mothers. So if we allow you to come, and you are the father, meaning uko na kaugumu, you are hardcore. The mothers are scared. They don't know. It means we'll have to allow women to come and stand with their sons to see, to visit with.
Listen,
so for us to be equal,
Danko,
no coming.
I have to stop you. You see, that's the problem I have with this nonsense that is called inclusion. I think it is a fallacy, because inclusion means that we have to allow anyone and everyone. You know, it actually makes more sense now. You know, today I watched a reel on the socials where a Muslim girl was saying something that was so profound. She said, no one questions how we need to tag Eid. We don't go and say, we cannot say happy or merry or whatever. Or no one questions how Diwali is supposed to be written and said, you know, happy Diwali or anything. But because of inclusivity, it's only Christianity that you can't say Merry Christmas. We have to say it is the winter season, it is that season, it is Xmas, and it's because of the nonsense that we've called inclusivity, where we want to include everyone, even those ones who are not making sense anymore. And we're not standing. Me, I say, if you want to be crazy and you have your own stance, you know, fair by you, but do not include us in your nonsense. Because you see, when that whoever was organizing this thing tells you that you can't come because there are other people that would want to come because they don't have the quote-unquote opportunity.
They will ask, and their children, when they tell them, by the way, Baba so-and-so was here.
You know, there's a gentleman, one of our friends does one of these things. And one of the things I like about him, because he says, he again doesn't allow the women to come, but he allows the fathers, and he tells you have to select a male figure in your family, in your friendships, in whatever. They have to be the ones to be there. And when they're getting the cut, they will be there with your son. Because it is a man affair. And we cannot in any way. The fact that they rob you as a man of that opportunity, my guy, I don't even know what to say, because
it's crazy.
Well, as in, where did our culture go? Because all of us grew up with some level of culture. So how will these sons that are going through the cut, the 200 of them, how will they be able to translate it to their next generation?
That's the thing. I'm even trying to figure out what are some of the things that I'm teaching my nephew? What are some of the things that I'm teaching him that in a few years, in a few decades, he's the one who's going to be taking my grandson.
Imagine.
He's going to stand there for my son, maybe in future, or my grandson. He's the one who's going. So what value am I adding to his life right now as a young man that he will take down to?
And you know,
to the one below
like
him.
I keep saying, in Kenya, we have a problem with GBV. And the only solution to GBV is being able to bring back these boys into the hold and into the mold and teaching them what it really means to be a man. Until the day we accept that we are failing the boy child, that we as a society are ostracizing the boy child.
And bearing in mind the kind of influence these children or these young men are subjected to beyond the homestead. Social media,
Do you know,
movies, the
everywhere now you
photos.
go, you know,
Yeah.
I take offense with some of the influencers when I see they play out these skits where you see a boy that doesn't have money, then doesn't get the girl.
Mm-hmm.
A boy that doesn't have
Exactly.
means never goes and does whatever is great. What we have is an imbalance where the girls are told you need a financially fit chap, and the boys are told if you don't have money, my guy,
you don't have any business dating or marrying.
And you see what we're doing is we are making the boy child look at the world and go like the world is unfair.
Yep.
That I cannot be seen. And that is how societies break down. What we need is to, and you know, you've made it so clear because it is during such moments, during such cuts, such initiations, that you're able to reinforce their belief and tell them, listen, richness do not make you a good man. There are so many rich men out here that are miserable, that do not have any values. You being a man is how you treat your family, how you lead, how you protect, and it can only be taught by good influence from other men. It cannot be taught by the cries of the women that have endured bad men.
Exactly. Giving their standpoint and their viewpoint and trying to cement it as the gospel truth. At the end of the day, bro, this is what I'm saying. A single mother, yes, can raise a man of value, but she should not have to do it alone. Let's rebuild the circle of men.
So that's it. After we've ranted on all aspects, what will be your parting shot, my guy?
Wow. Indeed, it has been an amazing experience. Second time's a charm, man. But this is my parting shot. And I'll try and put it poetically. From the forests to our cities, from the rights that shape our boys to the ballots that shape nations, the measure of this, our society, is not in wealth, power, or tradition alone, but in how we protect, guide, and lift every life under our watch. That is all I'm saying for me.
My guy, no wonder you are the aficionado, the musical aficionado, because you know, you've made it so profound.
Yeah.
You know, I do not want to take away anything from that. I think I'll just leave our listeners and our viewers with one thought. It's time that we take our patriotism off our wristbands. We cannot be Kenyan by show. We have to. It has to mean something more than that wristband. You know, because it's so easy to get lost in the facade, in the show, in, you know, in Kenya halisi. But when we do not stand for something and we do not take a stand, then we fall for everything.
That's right.
I keep telling people, you know, in all the other series that we do, is we have to learn from the past and focus the future. We cannot move 10 steps forward and 20 back. And we have to learn to be vigilant. We can't do this vigilant. You know, they say the price of democracy is eternal vigilance. So hold your brothers accountable to being good men. Hold your sisters accountable to being good mothers and good women. But above all, let's hold one another to being better Kenyans, because this Kenya is the only Kenya that we have, and it's not going anywhere. So if we don't build it, and if we don't stand for it, this political class, my guy, they'll destroy it while we are watching. Well, we are hoping that it's every day.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
So I always say this. So ensure that every of your friends and anyone who's watching us, ensure at least 5 people adopt 5 new or 5 voters. Because if you adopt 5 voters, that will secure a polling station, my guy, there's no Mudhende happening.
Yes.
There's no Malava happening. And we will take back our Kenyan. And with that, it's been the Roundtable Conversations with Danko Atalaku and DY. May you guys be blessed. Have yourselves a lovely day. And again, asante sana, Bwana Danka. You are amazing, my guy. You are amazing.